On 16 September 1992, one man brought the British government to its knees in just one day, caused the Bank of England to lose billions of dollars, and made more than $1 billion for himself. That man was George Soros, and this day was written in history as Black Wednesday. Let's understand the story of one of the greatest traders of all time, George Soros. George Soros was born on 12 August 1930 in Budapest, Hungary. At that time, his name was not George Soros. His real name was György Schwartz. He was born into a Jewish family, and this was one of the most dangerous periods in European history. George's father's name was Tivadar Soros. He was a lawyer by profession, but in reality, he was a very sharp and intelligent man. George's mother's name was Elizabeth Soros. She managed the household. By the late 1930s, Nazi ideology had spread across Europe. Jews were being treated as enemies. In 1944, Nazi Germany occupied Hungary. Now the danger was not just political, it was a matter of life and death. Jews were being taken from their homes and sent to concentration camps, from where most people never returned. At that time, George Soros was only 14 years old. But his father, Tivadar Soros, had already understood how serious the situation was. He made a decision. If we have to lie in order to survive, then we will lie. He arranged fake identity papers, changed the family's name, and hid his children in different places. George was sent to live with a government officer who was confiscating Jewish property. Just imagine, a Jewish child living with a Nazi supporting officer, only to stay alive. George Soros lived in fear every single day. One mistake, one wrong question, and death was certain. This phase of life taught George one important lesson. The world is not always moral. The world is not always rational. Only those who understand situations at the right time survive. This thinking later became the foundation of his trading philosophy. In 1945, World War II ended. The Nazis were defeated. But Hungary did not become free. The country went under communist control, and freedom disappeared once again. Tivadar Soros understood that this country was no longer safe for his children. In 1947, at just 17 years of age, George Soros left Hungary. He had no money, no identity, no connections. He had only one thing, the determination to survive. He moved to England. And this is where the journey of a poor refugee turning into one of the most dangerous traders in the world began. In 1947, George Soros arrived in England as a refugee. He had no money, no identity, and no support. London was still recovering from war. The city was broken, jobs were scarce. To survive, George Soros did every kind of work. Railway porter, waiter, factory worker. He worked during the day and studied at night. In 1949, George Soros got admission to the London School of Economics, LSE. This was the biggest intellectual turning point of his life. At LSE, he met a philosopher named Karl Popper. Karl Popper was not just a professor, he was a revolutionary thinker. Popper taught Soros that human knowledge is always imperfect. George Soros began connecting this idea to financial markets. If humans can be wrong, then markets can also be wrong. Markets are not always efficient. Markets are not always rational. People influence markets, and markets influence people. From this thinking, Soros developed his most famous concept, reflexivity theory. Reflexivity means that market prices do not just reflect reality, they also change reality. If people believe an asset is valuable, its price rises. As the price rises, belief becomes stronger. This creates a feedback loop, and eventually, a bubble is formed. George Soros understood that bubbles are always created by human belief. And when belief changes, the market collapses. During his time at LSE, Soros was extremely poor. He survived on scholarships and part-time jobs. But his goal was clear. He did not just want to become rich. He wanted to understand the system. In 1953, George Soros graduated from LSE. The next big question was, what next? He had no money and no powerful connections. But he had one dangerous idea. It is possible to beat the market because the market is created by humans. In 1954, George Soros moved to America and reached New York. He started working as a clerk and analyst at F.M. Mayer, where he closely observed Wall Street. He studied traders, operators, and psychology. In 1956, he made a decision. He would not just work for others anymore. He would start investing his own ideas. Soros did not want to remain an employee. He wanted to become a decision maker. In the early 1960s, he left investment banking. He had worked at Wertheim and Company and became an expert in international arbitrage. He began understanding European and American markets together. In 1969, George Soros started his first major fund called Double Eagle Fund. It was an offshore hedge fund registered in the Caribbean. He used a global macro strategy, analyzing asterisk currencies, asterisk interest rates, asterisk government policies, asterisk political events. Most investors focused only on company balance sheets. Soros focused on governments. In 1973, Double Eagle Fund was restructured and became the Quantum Fund. This fund made George Soros a legend. The principle was simple. If a government follows the wrong policy, the market will punish it. During the 1970s, asterisk oil crisis, asterisk inflation, asterisk currency instability. While most investors were scared, Soros saw opportunity. Quantum Fund took heavy positions in currencies and shorted weak economies. Between 1970 and 1980, the fund delivered more than 30% average annual returns. Soros always believed he could be wrong. When the market proved him right, he increased his position. When he was wrong, he accepted the loss immediately. By 1979, George Soros had become a powerful name in the financial world. Governments and central banks started noticing him. But the biggest attack was still ahead. In the early 1990s, Britain faced a major economic problem. The British pound was tied to the European exchange rate mechanism, ERM. Britain promised to keep the pound within a fixed range. But the reality was different. Asterisk UK economy was weak. Asterisk inflation was high. Asterisk interest rates were high. Asterisk growth was slow. Germany, on the other hand, had a strong economy. Soros identified an imbalance. The pound was overvalued and artificially supported by the government. Soros believed government reserves are limited. Market capital is unlimited. If the market attacks, the government will lose. Quantum Fund massively shorted the British pound, betting billions of dollars. On the morning of 16 September 1992, the Bank of England tried to defend the pound. Interest rates were raised. The pound was bought in the forex market, but the market did not stop. Soros and other traders kept selling the pound. Britain's foreign reserves were drained rapidly. Within hours, asterisk the Bank of England accepted defeat. Asterisk Britain exited the ERM. Asterisk the pound collapsed. The UK government lost billions of pounds. George Soros made nearly $1 billion in a single day. From that day, the world called him the man who broke the Bank of England. He proved that asterisk governments can be wrong. Asterisk central banks can fail. Asterisk markets move on belief. After Black Wednesday, George Soros was no longer just a trader. He became a global force. Some people called him a genius. Others called him a villain. British media labeled him an enemy of the nation. For Soros, it was simply a successful trader. After the 1990s, Soros's influence moved beyond markets. He expanded the Open Society Foundations. The goals were asterisk democracy, asterisk freedom of speech, asterisk human rights, asterisk education. Soros donated more than $30 billion to philanthropy, one of the largest private donations in history. But criticism followed. Some governments accused him of manipulating politics. Countries like Russia and Hungary banned his organizations. Soros denied all allegations, saying, "I work only for an open society." By the late 1990s, Soros reduced active trading. He handed over daily control of the Quantum Fund to other managers. But his philosophy remained alive. He believed, asterisk markets can be wrong. Asterisk I can be wrong. That is why. Asterisk he never traded with ego. Asterisk he accepted losses quickly. Asterisk, he changed positions when beliefs changed. For Soros, survival was more important than pride. George Soros did not just make money. He proved that. Asterisk, markets are a game of psychology. Asterisk, governments are not immune. Asterisk, crisis creates opportunity. A refugee child who survived the Holocaust, lived in poverty in London, and was an outsider on Wall Street. That same man became the most powerful macro trader in history. George Soros' story teaches us, the world is not perfect, but the person who understands imperfect reality writes history. See you with another trader's story. Until then, stay healthy. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.